Hello and welcome to A Sherrie with Sherrie. Today's reading is from my memoir, Shadow Across the Sun. I always had a yen to write this after losing my mum to breast cancer when I was 13. Not at the time, it was too raw then, but as years went on, it was always had this kind of notion. It was upsetting to write about it, but it was quite cathartic at the same time. And although it was a tragedy in our lives, there was lots of humour. There's always, I think, even in the worst times, you can find some humour. This is a short extract that it was after Mum had died, and there was just my dad, myself, and my sister Emily, and our little black poodle Candy. Dad wanted me to go on an errand for him, so this is where I went. Just put your coat on, Duck, and put the dog on the lead, will you, and take the coupon down to Fred's, Dad says to me. He does the coupon religiously every week, even though all he's ever won is £23. It was me who'd picked the numbers when he'd won, and he asks me to pick them every so often, hoping we'll get the big win this time. But we've never had the same luck again. I don't really feel like taking it, to be honest. But he still hasn't got over when we broke the bed playing Batman. So I do whatever I can to keep him sweet. Okay, I'll just put this Frey bento steak and kidney pie in the oven before I go. I put the tin on a baking tray and slide it in, closing the oven door. It looks tasty, this pie. We've not had one before, but I got it from the shop when Dad left us some money to get something for tea. We got some sweets as well, but we didn't tell him about those. Not until he asked where his change was. He wasn't too happy that we'd spent it, and told us only to get what he said in future. The pie is in a round flat tin which is topped with flaky pastry. I don't know how that fits in there. It looks so light and fluffy on the picture. My mouth waters just looking at it, and I can't wait to get back to taste it. It's a cool, nippy evening, and Candy and I walk briskly. I don't like being out on my own in the dark. You never know if there is someone lurking with evil intents. And even though Candy is very brave, she'd be no match for some burly bloke size 10. On this unnerving thought, I break into a little trot. Fred the coupon man lives in the croft, and as I walk, I remember mine and Mum's walks there when we first moved here when I was 4. I remember coming to see Dad when he was working on the houses, when I didn't know what crows were and spent most of the walk looking for the source of the cawing noise. Fred's daughter is my friend Jane from Chapel, who also goes to my school. So once I've handed over the coupon, we stand and chat at her door. Walking back, I think about the pie. The thought of that rich, tasty gravy quickens my step. Oh, I can almost taste it. It should be nearly done now. We're going to have tinned potatoes and peas with it. I like them for a change. They have a different taste to boiled potatoes, and it's an easy tea when you don't have to peel veg. I tap on the lounge window as I pass, and Dad opens the front door for me. Did you give it? Bang! An almighty explosion erupts from the kitchen. What the bloody hell, shouts Dad, leaping round as though he's been shot in the back. The noise brings Emily galloping out of the lounge, and we all dash into the kitchen. What a sight meets our eyes. There are a million particles of Frey Bentos steak and kidney pie on every conceivable surface of the kitchen. We stand there gaping like landed cod, the tantalising aroma of that pie taunting our nostrils, because that's about the only one of our senses that will get to savour it. The ceiling looks like the sky at night, with bits of meat and pastry stars adorning it, gravy splatters like stringy scudding clouds. There are chunks of it speckling the floor, and Candy loses no time in beginning to clear it up, her little pink tongue gingerly flicking the piping hot food into her mouth. The oven door lies wide open from the force of the blast, and there, sitting in the middle shelf, is the now empty pie tin, a gaping hole where the lid had joined the side like a lopsided leering mouth. "Don't tell me you didn't take the bloody lid off," says Dad incredulously. "Well, no." "You dozy bugger, you should have read the instructions." "I did. Well, I read what number to turn the oven to." Dad removes the laughing tin from the oven with a sigh. I was really looking forward to that pie. He's not the only one. I'd had the taste in my mouth from the minute I'd picked it up off the shelf in the shop. The smell filling the kitchen is the most wonderfully tempting scent you can imagine, and the only one sampling its delights is the dog. Words can't describe how incredibly stupid I feel. Common sense should have told me to remove the lid, even without reading the cooking instructions. When I'd wondered how the flaky pastry fitted in there, I should have known it would need room to puff up, even. We've done all about expansion and contraction in science at school, but I suppose that shows how much attention I paid. Candy's doing an excellent job of cleaning the floor. I suppose she thinks all of her birthdays and Christmases have come at once. Dad's standing on a chair, brandishing a cloth to clean the ceiling, and Emily and I have got J-cloths to wipe the table and chairs. There are bits of pie in places I wouldn't even have thought to look, underneath the table, stuck on the chair legs. Some of it has even reached the worktop at the far end of the room. I suspect we'll still be finding an odd morsel or two in July. "What shall we have for tea then?" I ventured to ask Dad, as gloomy as everyone else. "There's nothing in the cupboard to compare with that pie. I suppose it'll have to be beans on bloody toast." Somehow it hasn't got the same appeal. There we are. We did have some laughs. We didn't laugh at the time, we were disappointed about the pie, but we did have some laughs. We had the odd glass of sherry. Cheers. Enjoy your day.